about Donald Trump? What do you think about the fake Appalachian J.D. Vance? There's a lot of anger in the room right now, and I get that. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone's ready, fired up. My urging to you is to not let it end right now. There are 1,900 precinct leadership spots that are available in Jefferson County for you to get involved, to walk your precincts, to make a difference door to door. It doesn't happen all at once, it happens with every single one of you. All 500 of you here right now, because we are at capacity, to get out of your neighborhood and talk to your neighbors and make sure that we're on the right side of history. So I'm going to pass it over to our wonderful congressman who walks the halls of Congress every single day, making sure that Kentucky, that this country is safe from Donald Trump and safe from Elon Musk, and that is Congressman Morgan McGarvey.
Because it is so important. This is the fight we must have. This is the fight we must have. We say things like Constitution. We say things like government. Behind every single one of those stories is a family. Behind every single word is a kid trying to get a public education.
That's right.
And someone protected by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Is someone who actually benefits from the real American dream. And we are not going to let an unelected billionaire come in and make that. Maybe it's you all, maybe I had a cup of coffee this morning. Because all I'm supposed to do is just introduce the next speakers. But I will come up again. I am so glad to see everyone here. We put this out Thursday. It is pouring down rain. There are 2 colleges playing basketball games today. But you all are here because you know it is important. So you can hear from several people today about why this is important. Yes, we will have a call to action and what we can and what we should be doing. But we are so grateful. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you for being here today. Thank you to the Louisville Democratic Party for putting this together. To Beth Ford, to Rosie Gaddis, to Betsy Foster, to the IBEW and all of our brothers and sisters who organize labor. And if you need a piece somewhere else. Thank you guys so much. We're going to talk about why this is important. We're going to talk about what we're doing, what we can do, and we're going to talk about what we aren't going to do. So with that, I want to thank all my fellow legislators who are up here with me, and we're going to get to the next speaker. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Let's keep the energy going, and I'd like to introduce Sarah Stanfield, Treasurer of the AFGE Local 611 with the Veterans Administration. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Sarah Stanfield, and I come to you today with a brief message. It's a very good honor and privilege for me to speak this morning as a union officer, as a steward, as a member, and as an Army veteran. Thank you for putting this event together. Thank you all for coming out today. A big thank you to IBEW Local 369, Congressman McGarvey. And support for the entire Labor Alliance. With that being said, Federal workers, many of us veterans, who swore an oath to protect the Constitution, not a dictator, do not agree. Elon Musk, billions in government contracts, is making decisions on all aspects on how our government spends money. He doesn't care about veterans, and he only sees them as a burden. Musk plans to cause mass resignations, as I'm sure you've seen, across federal agencies. He doesn't care because he will never need Social Security. He will never need veterans benefits. He is only harming the most valuable members of our society. Musk stated he wanted to force all federal workers back into the office. But the reality is that the facts show federal workers are more productive, call off less, and have less turnover and get more work done from home. This also saves taxpayers money by not needing as much office space till we survive, especially here right in our hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. The reason he wants to force us back to the office is mostly to cause mass resignation that will harm the most vulnerable in society. Musk wants to cut safety standards and regulations. This is mostly because, like Tesla vehicles, have a high amount of instances where they catch on fire. He doesn't want to be liable for his own product. Musk's goal is to privatize the VA. The VA hires approximately 35%, if not more, veterans, many of which are disabled. Once privatized, these folks will lose their career. Musk wants to take away service-connected benefits from veterans. Also, billionaires can get more for tax cuts. And lastly, yesterday, AFGE now has over 321,000 members. We are seeing a growth faster than ever. From 302,000 a month ago. Yes. Wow. So, just be reassured, our members are fighting back.
Let me hear some noise if you are a union member. Our next speaker is on the front lines of protecting our union workers and our union rights in the state. And that man is Justin Reinstetter, the president of the AFL-CIO.
I'm president of Kentucky State AFL-CIO. We represent about 100,000 union workers in the state of Kentucky. Right on. I'm going to keep it pretty brief. Unions have always hated billionaires, okay? I don't think we're still today. We're still going to keep that fight going. Something important to remind you about. We got electricians, we got teachers, we got teachers, we got construction workers, iron workers. There have been times in history where we laid our tools down, where we stopped the production lines, where we turned off the breakers. Come on now. We took that, we're doing what we have to.
Every single day to say we are not going back. I have seen what it looks like and I refuse to repeat myself. I saw somebody sign that says, don't make me repeat myself. I saw history. Miss Rhonda Mathis.
One more time for Rhonda Mathis. Let's have it. All right, now I want to introduce one of my dear friends. A great guy, focused on digital equity and inclusion within our city, but also just a good human being. And that is Ricky Santiago. Let's go.
I didn't follow that, right? But it's okay, I'm the son of a preacher. I'm particularly bothered. No, I'm pissed! I'm pissed because my family is in the last side of this bulldozer called Doji. He laughs at our faces. My mother's a teacher. My father was a government. Most importantly, my son is on the autism spectrum. Collectively, we're a Latino family that has given nothing but service to the country and the country. And now, Tech Bro wants to gut our departments and institutions that keep us safe, that feed our family, that support small business, something that Musk and his $20 billion in government contracts knows all too well. Who does he think he is?
President.
Make no mistake, Musk is a grifter who's trying to pull up the greatest heights of data and information right in front of our eyes. Trying to paralyze and minimize our institutions for his benefits and those that argue that it was a Roman salute. Elon's going to find out real quick what real Americans can do. Because these colors don't back down. And to all the tech bros that want to play oligarch, hiding their intentions behind Old Glory. In the world's greatest democracy, remember, patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. Get involved, volunteer, make calls for the representatives of either party and tell them that you won't stand for this. The country needs you now more than ever. Thank you.
hear any voices if you are a teacher? Teachers. The backbone of our entire country. Educating our kids. Taking care of them. It's a hard job. They want to go to war against teachers? Are you kidding me? You know what happened when Bevan did that, right? Well, let's hear from someone, again, on the front lines with our teachers, protecting them every single day from government attacks. All they want to do is help our kids. All they want to do. Especially this man, Kumar Rashad.
First of all, I'm glad to get promoted. I'm actually vice president of the county. First of all, let me start off. I said one thing, and I want y'all to do this call with me if you know it. If you want, if you don't know it, you ready to know it right now. So when I say, will we fight? You say, will we fight? Will we fight? Does anybody know the last three words that Frederick Douglass said when he died? He said the first word was agitate. The second word was agitate. And the third word was agitate. That's right. So we're going to agitate. We're just going to keep agitating. I'm just going to say good morning, y'all. My name is Kumar Rashad. Yes, I am a proud high school math teacher at Breckenridge. Former teacher, been around all of these hats that I wore and been to better the cause of my kids in my class who are sick. You know, I just want to say that I love our union folks. I love Jefferson County Teachers Association from I want to tell y'all a little quick story real quick. A few weeks ago, me and my wife, Natalie, we went to Atlanta. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm not up here without her, so just please believe that. All right? And we went to Atlanta a few weeks ago. There's a teacher conference down there for minority leadership and women's leadership. It was a double conference at the same time. Beautiful. You know, and while we were down there, we got the chance to go see Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter. Because unlike our current administration, President Jimmy Carter, rest in heaven, was a compassionate and caring president. He improved our standing in the world and strengthened our relationship with allies, and even created new allies, just like he did with the Panama Canal deal that he negotiated. Donald Trump wants to completely dismantle this. Why does Trump hate Jimmy?
He hates everybody.
That's like asking, why does the devil hate angels? President Carter also established the United States Department of Education, which serves almost all of our children throughout the U.S. Now, Donald wants to dismantle that as well. But truthfully, this doesn't come as any surprise, because Trump and all his ghostwriters from the Project 2025 explicitly stated in the petition. As a matter of fact, if you look at the education portion of Project 2025, at the very beginning is this quote. federal education policy should be limited, and ultimately, the federal Department of Education should be eliminated. 90% of our students and 95% of students with disabilities attend our public schools. Trump is raiding our schools to target our children with illegal immigration policies when those ICE need to go over there and deport Elon Musk. This behavior is reckless. It undermines everything we do on public education. He's implementing voucher programs and increasing funding for private charter schools with little to no accountability. According to the National Education Association, the consequences for our students and our families would devastate our communities. Title I funding will be cut, and this money is used to sustain our most vulnerable and low-income students. Special education folks with disabilities are likely to see funding cuts that could affect over 7 million students with disabilities. Civil rights protection is going to be gutted, dismantled, especially if the responsibilities of the Office for Civil Rights has to be transferred to the Department of Justice. This would absolutely cripple anti-discrimination efforts. Even Pell Grants, student loans could be adversely affected by this. So again, the most vulnerable will risk losing access to affordable higher education. I swear. President Carter would be rolling in his grave right now. He is rolling in his grave right now.
Johnny's rolling.
Someone tell Donald Trump stop hating on Jimmy Carter. There you go. Tell Elon Musk that we don't want resources going from public schools to private schools or the voucher programs that we just defeated decisively and all 100%. Just the past year. Tell Donald that the majority of voters oppose dismantling the Department of Education. Tell your congressman like Morgan McGarvey, right on, Morgan. And others that you can reach out to, even if their name is Thomas Massey.
Homer.
One more vote for Thomas Massey. Tell them that we will continue to push back against those executive outreaches. Tell them that educators and our allies are committed to resisting attacks on public education. Because our power is in our numbers and our faith. Tell you what, President Carter would love to hear that right now. Our power are in our families. Our power is in our unions. Our power is in our communities. Donald and his cronies like Elon Musk represent a fraction of our education, or a fraction of our communities. They're not educated, sorry. They're a fraction of our communities. And they will not be able to stand against us when we are unified. Because together, when we fight, I just want y'all before I go to remember that freedom is the only thing that's important. Freedom is the only thing that's important. Freedom to have a great education. The freedom to be treated fairly in education in the economy and otherwise everywhere in society. Freedom to be treated with respect and dignity. The freedom that fulfills the vision of our late and great president, Jimmy Carter. Will we fight? Will we fight? Will we fight? Hey, one more
own government. Our very own representative, the one, the only, Morgan McGarvey.
Thank you guys so much for being here today. Look, this fight, it is about all of us, and it is at every level. Yes, we have to have our eyes focused on Washington right now, because what is happening, I saw someone on the streets last week, and he said, thank you for being elected to stand up. I said, yeah, I said, it's going to be a long 4 years. He looked at me and said, hell, it's been a long 4 minutes. We don't know what they've done since we started talking. So we got to stay focused, but we have to look everywhere. And before we get into too much what's going on in Washington, I want to thank our brave men and women legislators in Frankfurt, and Metro Council, and everybody else. They're on the front lines to fight here. But if you think Project 2025 is just limited to Washington, D.C., then let's open our eyes. Thank you guys. Thank you all for standing up. It was wonderful. Thank you to our speakers for pointing out what's happening. Let's talk about what's happening. Talk about what's going on. Evil. It is evil. And the time for being nice is over. They didn't respond when we offered a plea to help them keep the government open. They didn't respond when we helped to keep the country from defaulting on our debt. They don't want to work with us on legislation that will actually help people. Because now we are seeing what it is they truly want to do. We don't have to be nice. Doesn't mean we have to be them. The truth still matters. A government that works for the people still matters. And calling out their bullshit still matters. Because let's look at what's really happening right now. Alright? We saw an election season where they had a 900 and something page blueprint called the Project 2025. Somebody made the mistake of releasing it. And so what do? They say, no, that's not. Where did this 900 page document come from? It was written by the people who work for Trump. We don't know.
You don't know anything about it.
I always count. And what have they done? It is a virtual checklist in the less than 3 weeks since Donald Trump has become president. But it is how they are doing it that matters. And look, I know there's a bunch of kindred spirits in this room. Particularly if you are a Republican, I'm talking with you right now. I am pleading with you right now. How we do things matters. How we do things matters. So even if you agree with a policy, or you write a person, please look 5 minutes beyond where we are right now. We set up a system where we would not have a king. Where we would not have a dictator. We set up a system of a government by, of, and for the people. And if Elon Musk and Donald Trump come in and say, we're going to get rid of the Department of Education. We're going to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We're going to get rid of USAID. We're going to stop funding to health care. Even if you agree with them, they can't do it.
That's right.
Congress established the Department of Education. Congress established USAID. Congress established Medicaid and Medicare. And no president can come billion from the Department of Education every year. This goes to educate all of our children, to feed our children in school, to make sure that they achieve that American dream. What happens with USAID? You think we're alone in this world? No. We are having programs put in place by presidents and congresses of both parties that put the real power and strength of America on display for the entire world. And if you don't think the rest of the world is giddy at the idea of Americans losing that influence and power, you're mistaken. China is waiting with open arms. And what we're doing here at home, Elon Musk, the world's richest man, announced yesterday, he's going to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let me ask y'all a question. Why would the richest man in the world want to get rid of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau? You think it's to help us? It sure as hell isn't. And Congress established it, so again, they can't do it, and if we allow them to do it, they are remaking American democracy and turning it into a dictatorship. This is something that no one and no member of Congress should stand for ever. But again, we're talking about these things: Congress, founding fathers, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What does it mean for us? The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was put into place after all of the big banks screwed us in the mortgage scandal. We did it to protect us from Wall Street, from credit card companies, from payday lenders. That's why this organization is there.
That's right.
It's to protect us. But the people at Project 2025, they want to get rid of it. Right? The richest people and the biggest businesses in the country want to get rid of it. Don't think they're stopping there either. If you're not there, like, oh, okay, fine, but I got my money in the bank, I'm fine. You think they're stopping there? No! Project 2025 called get rid of birth control. You think they're stopping there? No! They are honest to God putting Medicaid on the chopping block. Medicaid expansion under President Obama passed by Congress.
Yes, sir.
Gave 440,000 Kentuckians health insurance for the first time. But I think these Democrats do a bad job talking about that. What does that mean? It means that maybe somebody honest to God stayed alive because a sickness wasn't a death sentence. It means that somebody was able to get the medicine they need. You want to be crass about it? It means you could show up for work to make money for your family and your employer. Behind every paycheck is a family. Behind all of these decisions is a human and emotional toll. And that's why we have to fight back. And the fight has never been more important than it is right now. The two questions I have been asked for the last 2 weeks. What are you doing? And what can we do? Alright, let's talk about it. We gotta have a 3-part plan. And we gotta use the tools in our toolbox. We gotta legislate. We've gotta litigate. We've gotta agitate. That is legislation. That is litigation. That is mobilization. Right, we are filing legislation. Just this week, House Democrats filed 3 bills. I co-sponsored each and every one of them. The Taxpayer Data Protection Act to prevent the House and entirely Elon Musk getting our data and our information. Elon Musk is go into these agencies. Think about this. He's going to their agencies. He's not telling us what he's doing. And he's not telling us who's doing it. They are keeping the names of the people going through this data secret. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And as my mom always said, don't do it if you don't want me to know about it. And of course, you're not hearing that. The other thing, we passed the Stop Musk Act. We pronounced the Stop Musk Act. Everyone should be concerned about what he's doing. Now, I hope you can get the Republicans to we filed legislation to ensure that Musk and his Doge task force are subject to the Freedom of Information Act. And if anybody's opposed to that, then you just know they don't want you to know what they're doing. Alright? We have filed and helped file litigation. So far, we have seen success in the courts, and we have to continue to hope that the courts stand up to what is written in the Constitution. Thank God, the courts have actually stopped some of what is happening at Treasury. The courts stopped the dismantling of USAID. But I say this, it is temporary. The relief they have provided is temporary. Now, before y'all get all squirrely on me, that's wrong. Alright? Put on my lawyer hat for 2 seconds. It's always temporary, hopefully, before it becomes permanent. But we cannot let up until that happens. Legislation. That's litigation. Now it's mobilization. This is deeply personal to me. Before running for office in the state senate, you could find me on a picket line at a protest or a rally.
That's right
On. For 10 years, we did it great. A lot of great people standing behind me. I went to Congress. I know everybody's like, oh, Congress is so fun. I think it was the second week I was coming home. I've never told anybody this story, including my family who's here. I'm flying home, and you have that wonder. Is it worth it? Does it matter? And I wrote a letter to my kids. And I've never given it to them. I may never give it to them. And the purpose of the letter was to say, I'm sorry. I know I'm not hungry. I know I'm going to miss games and recitals. What I hope is that whenever my time on this earth is done, not in office, on this earth is done, you will think what we did mattered to you.
Yes, sir.
And it is important enough to not be here now, so I can be here for you later. We cannot let this moment pass us by. This is the time that we must literally put it on the line. I talk about my kids. When I was a kid, we all had bad days in school. My mom would send me notes in my lunchbox. Lunch bag. I didn't know how a lunchbox. That's not second grade. All right. Nerds are not that big a nerd. And she would put quotes in. This week, she started sending more quotes. She said, I'm glad, when injustice becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Now I love my mom, but she didn't say that. Thomas Jefferson did. So here's what we gotta do. Call your representatives. Call your senators. Do not You were silent in this moment. Do not let your kids know you were silent at this time. You may think you're screaming into the wind, but be counted and be registered and be there. Because of that. But please don't stop there. There is more we can do. In the very near future, we have 3 special elections coming up for the United States House of Representatives. Now, don't allow me to get in the weeds for just a second and tell you why this is important. As it stands today, if all 3 of those members were there in the special elections, Republicans would be at 220, Democrats would be at 215. The House doesn't have the procedural gimmicks and tools that the Senate does. The majority decides the rules, and the majority sets the time for the debate. We don't go and put a card in the slot here. Right? Senate can filibuster, House can't. When they lose 3 members, Matt Gates, Matt Waltz, 3 for resignations. That means they're at 217 and we're at 215. Now, I don't know if you all can do this math. My high school physics teacher is here, so I'll make sure I get this right. But if we get all 3, we're at 218. And they're at 217. You want to know what that means for stopping Elon Musk and Donald Trump? It means Jamie Raskin is the chair of the judiciary and has the subpoena power to drag these teenage mutant doge boys in front of Clark is the majority leader of the United States House of Representatives. Hakeem Jeffries is the Speaker. And maybe, just maybe, we know what it looks like to have somebody sitting behind the president in that chair as Speaker. Special elections coming up. And I'll tell you this, if we lose 1, we don't get the majority. But don't lose hope. Every vote we get closer to them makes it harder for them to do something. And the more they will lead us. And I told you, we're not going to be nice. But we're not going to give up. We will never give up. I will never give up on our country. And now that I'm in a leadership spot in Washington, I've had the chance to tell leadership, we're not going to be a cheap date either. Because, as we know here, we know saying this, Kentucky is worth fighting for. America is worth fighting for. Because we have grown up into a country. But America has always been an idea. The idea guided by our 2 North Stars. And as I stand here today, I know that we have never been perfect. In fact, we have policies that have put discrimination in place and held people back. And even though one of those North Stars is the idea that all people are created equal, we've not lived up to it. And when they say they want to take our country back, they want to take our country backwards. But what guides us, what has guided our trajectory through the ups and downs, is that we are headed towards that more perfect union. That more perfect union is what we must fight for. And if we have to block them from taking our kids out of our schools, if we have to block them from shutting down the Department of Labor, we have to go out there and take our Medicare, and yes, our Social Security. We really know how to do it. You are in your neighborhood where the brothers and sisters of neighbors know that sometimes you have to put yourself and your body out there on the line. You have to put the home, you have to put the fear. You know what it means to be in the civil rights struggle. And sometimes you got to put yourself out there on the line. We are going to litigate, and we are going to agitate until this country, our well-being, our kids' well-being is worth fighting for. We will not back down, and it is an honor to be in the fight with you all. Thank you so much for being here. And love that you always have your back. Thank you guys.
And you have conversation about how this is affecting us. and how it affects you. But it requires your involvement. Now, some of you are going to ask, how am I supposed to know about all this, Ross? And I'm going to say, you don't go to this website. And it's called LouisvilleDems.com. And there, you're going to find ways to get involved. You're going to sign up to get the latest newsletter and know what's happening, so you don't ever have to say, I didn't know they was having that down in IBW. Because that, since you said it, there are 14 Facebook posts about it. You're going to join the group so that you know that when it's time to activate to get those 3 congresspersons elected, we know what calls we're making, what postcards we're sending, and where we're showing up to knock doors so that we can win the majority back in the House. But there's also something else you can do. Be prepared to be turned away. But don't ever stop showing up. So that means you need to show up at Mitch or Rand's office. And stay outside for a little bit. Or whether you need to go down to Frankfurt and sit in front of Nene's place. And say, guess what? Jefferson County is not going back. You must continue to show up. Fill calendars. Clog phone banks and laws. Make the government work for us because it's there for us. And if you and our elected officials are not prepared to work for us, it's time to give them an eviction notice. And so this year we don't have an election, but next year we do. And it's time to win some more seats. It's time to flip some majorities and minorities. It's time to take over some Metro Council seats, even when they're not partisan, because we know that the power is in the people. And these people will not go back. So while we're fighting Elon Musk and Donald Trump, understand there is plenty to fight for in this Commonwealth and in this county. And we refuse to go back. Because when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. It don't feel like the Super Bowl yet because it's tomorrow. So I want the same energy level y'all gonna have tomorrow. When when you right there at the goal line and you trying to see if they can push it over, I want the same tenacity, the same grit. Because when you fight,